Welcome everybody to both sides of the conversation. I'm John Henry, Executive Director. Today is Tuesday, so you know what that means. We're going to have another special Hidden Gem segment tonight. I don't know what happened. We've been off the air for a couple of weeks with this new programming change. I know our first slide supposed to have the DA on there. I don't know. It was a mistake. I made the mistake. I don't know what happened. But tonight we have a special guest. We have San Francisco District Attorney Brooke Jenkins coming on tonight. And also we have the phenomenal brothers, the Kings Accountability Group, coming in talking about some amazing programming, some of the things that they're doing to help impact community. And let me tell y'all, these brothers are powerful, man. And, we always talk about where the brothers at. The Kings are here tonight. So be patient. It's going to be a long segment. We're going to be getting our DA in here in about 30 minutes. So be patient, community. We got news, announcements. We got a lot of things to cover because we've been off the air. Now we're coming on twice a month. And it's been a new journey. Folks are still calling. People reached out last week. Bishop, y'all not on the show. Where y'all at? Say, hey, we got new programming. Y'all ain't paying attention. We got to get the community to pay attention. But there's a lot going on. The Voice is here tonight. We're happy to see the Voice here. He's been fighting the hurricane and the floods in Houston, but he's here, man. He's here today. So we are excited about that. A couple things I just wanted to open up with, as we tackle a number of issues this month. In the month of July, we continue to focus on Minority Mental Health Month. It is very, very important that we continue to highlight the importance of mental health. So many of our people in our community, especially right now with all that's going on across the country, the economic job front, so much stress, pressure, schools coming back on in a couple of weeks, families that are struggling are stressing about that. It's important that we keep our mental health in check, not only for this month, but throughout all of the months ahead. And I'm just excited that we're a part of it. There are so many groups are coming out talking about mental health, bringing that awareness to our community, trying to remove the stigma and the taboo of mental health. So much tragedy is happening across this country that folks are just up against it. So again, we want to keep this mental health to the forefront of everybody's mind as we continue to just calm down a little right now. Everybody just take a deep breath and calm down. It's a lot going on. We know this past Saturday, there was an attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump. Again, I just want to say this to community. Political violence is out of control in this country. And, no matter what party, no matter who's the candidate, we cannot condone violence in any form or fashion, especially to political parties. I get it. Folks feel strongly about their party, their belief systems. Again, we have to be able to disagree and, be able to move on, have your voices heard, do your civic duty on November 5th. That's where it counts at, right? At the ballot box, not using weapons and violence. That's not going to resolve the issue. No matter if you don't like the Republican Party, you don't like Donald Trump, no one wants to see anyone nearly assassinated in a violent way. So again, we have a lot of work to do as a country. I know tensions are high. Folks are just at the limits of where they are, and we have to find other ways, other means to deal with our anxieties, to deal with our stress, to deal with our disappointments. That's just something that we have to do as a community. So again, we are here to bring folks together. We are here to use our voices to uplift what's going on. But again, political violence, man, this impacts all of us in this country when these type of acts happen. I know for all of the candidates in different counties, states that are running for office, this was a wake-up call, this work that they do to put their lives, their families on the line to run for political office. It's a strenuous job, and for folks to go out to try to represent the people and do their part, but to know that threat of violence is there is just not okay. And we have to do a better way. All communities, we have to find a way to deal with our differences, our difference of opinions, and not result in to the use of violence. So again, tragic situation, and just, again, it could have been a different situation, dark days, if it was another went another way. But again, we just happy that it didn't go that way, and we got an opportunity again to just think about what's going on and get to the voting boxes and do your part, do your civic duty. So excited about that. Also, just wanted to update. We got a lot of races here locally that are intensifying, and again, we need community folks to get out, support, make sure your votes and voices are heard. Again, being part of the local process is so important for all the things that's going on, and please get out there and do your part. Also, just want to say, thank you to all of the amazing organizations that's been continuing to work through these difficult times with the economic challenges, continuing to work to give our youth opportunities to work with our elders, continuing to build the bridge that's needed in our communities right now with all of the economic crisis. Folks are struggling. Things are going on. And I just appreciate all the organizations that's continuing to still push out support and doing everything that they can to make sure community is impacted. But again, we're dealing with so much the attack of our leaders. It is sad what's going on right now. And again, we got to stand up. This is the time that we have to be strong. And not just be reactive, right? We have to be intentional. We have to be preventive. We have to have the conversations that are needed to glue our communities together. Right now, there's so much division, not only at the level of the presidency, but just here locally. We gotta work together. We're going to have to find a way as community folks to air out our differences, to have conversations, to figure out a way as community how we can work and unite and uplift each other and stop all of this chaos and all of the other stuff that's going on. Right now is not the time to tear each other down. It's to lift each other up, build community. And that's what we need more now than ever. And I'm hoping that over the next couple of months, as we approach these final 90 days to election, that we find a way in our hearts to do some internal work, external work, and find a way to come together in solidarity and do the things that we need to do to move our communities forward. So that's very important, and I'm just looking forward to that. Also, want to give a huge shout out to the Bill Pickett Rodeo this weekend. I'm excited because I was out there. I was a cowboy. All my life I've been a part of cowboy rodeos and things of that nature. It was just nice to go out there and be able to support my little niece who was part of that rodeo show, riding her horse out there, and just to see the amazing families, the grandmothers, the grandfathers, the husbands, the wives, the mothers, and the kids. More important to see the young people out there enjoying the rodeo, going up to the horses, going up, checking out what's going on, meeting some of the riders, and just to see a diversity is something different of Black folks in a different sport, and just to see all of the amazing folks out there enjoying and celebrating. They did a phenomenal job, and just shout out to all of the amazing sponsors who has continued to support that rodeo. 40 years. They were celebrating 40 years of the Bill Pickett Rodeo here in California, and just to see all of the amazing sponsors continue to uplift that and keep that legacy going for community and for the people is just a beautiful thing. So again, shout out to all of those amazing folks. And again, there's a lot of new stuff that we got to cover and get through. But without further ado, the voice, he is here. He is back. He has power. He made it through the storm. He's still standing. Brother Mark, welcome back. How's everything going, brother?
Well, first of all, Bishop, I just want to echo all the sentiments you just expressed, brother. I'm glad I get to come back on a Tuesday night with Hidden Gems because we get to highlight the positivity, the good things that are going on in the community. So it's glad to kind of take a reprieve from all that's going on in the world right now. I do want to send special prayers to all my people here in Houston, Texas that have suffered and gone through. Again, you see the manifestation of the mental health crisis issues. We had people without power, some still. It's been over a week now, and it's a lot of things going on. But I want to thank all the people who work together, who are feeding people, who are sharing supplies, helping get things restored. And just want to thank everybody for all the support from around the nation. But as we sit here, man, we've got some amazing guests this evening to talk to, some wonderful things to highlight. And as always, man, I'm glad to be back with the people here on both sides of the conversation, Bishop.
Man, beautiful, man. Thank you for being here. So important, man, to have the voice here. He brings a dynamic perspective to the community. And again, yeah, our prayers to all of the folks out there in Houston dealing with it. I know there's a number of crises that they're dealing with down there in Houston. And we just want to uplift those folks and those people. If you have loved ones, check on them. Again, it's been a tragic experience for those folks. I think this was like the second or third tornado this year. They've been getting hit. And I'm hoping that with all that's going on, folks really look at, ways to support those folks with flooding. I know after Hurricane Katrina, they had engineers redesign, the sewer systems, the drain systems. And again, to see that much water, standing water in folks' communities and their homes. Again, we are a country of innovation and engineering. We have to find better ways to deal with these type of disasters when they come and impact our community. So again, a lot going on, and just happy to have you here, brother. You made it through. So excited about that. Again, everybody, I know some folks are tuning in early. We still got news and announcements to get to. Our San Francisco DA, Brooke Jenkins, will be here to talk about a phenomenal program they're launching. And we'll try to get in a couple of questions and things that's going on with the race, the district attorney race in San Francisco, some of the things that's happened. I know folks across the country see the folks at the National Republican Convention blasting the Bay Area. They was coming for San Francisco for all of the crime and the things that's going on. We've been getting shot at pretty much about some of the things that's negatively impact our city. But there is change. There are things happening, and hopefully we could get our DA to give some insight of what's going on. And I know folks from the community have reached out for questions that they wanted me to ask about some of the things that's going on in our community. We will get to that. We have a short time with her, but we will make sure that we get those questions out to her. If you are in the chat watching live on YouTube or on our Facebook, if you want to use a live chat when our DA is up here to ask any questions, please put it in the chat. We'll see if we could get those in before she has to get out and continue with her day. With that being said, let's talk about some of the news and things that's going on. This is a problem, okay? This is a problem. This first story, they're talking about home insurance council for Oakland residents. And, this is something that's going on here in California that we really need to talk about. And I got some of our insurance folks of California that I'm reaching out to, some of our elected officials, some of our senators, because we got some issues with these insurance companies here in California. We got to talk about it because it's going to impact how we moving forward. And, the cost of living is already out of the roof, okay? But the cost of insurance to house people when it comes to flood insurance, fire insurance, earthquake insurance, and things of that nature is out of the roof. A number of insurance companies have left the state of California. Some have came back and want to charge 30 to 40% increase to do business here in California. I think it's very, very terrible. And I think the Insurance Commission needs to be looked at and investigated. I think our elected officials need to do better. And we know they put a lot of money and to elections and to bring in certain senators and things of that nature. But again, it's highway robbery. And these folks are being impacted tremendously. And it's unfair because, folks pay all of this insurance to these insurance companies. And then when disaster happens, they want to pull out, don't pay, and things of that nature. But here's some of the Oakland homeowners that lives in the high-fi areas, like in the Oakland Hills. A lot of their insurances were non-renewable. A lot of the insurance companies pulled back due to the wildfire risk. A lot of policies and things that folks are trying to put in place for homeowners. They are reaching out. But the homeowners right now, they're saying they should prioritize fire prevention measures and maintain whatever insurance they can, replacement values. But again, reach out to your legislative folks because there's change that need to happen with these insurance companies. But again, they're targeting folks because of all these wildfires in California right now. And again, it's a lot of poor maintenance from the Department of Forestry, things of that nature, that folks are being impacted. They're not doing their part to prevent some of these fires. And then again, they're building these homes. The city and county is giving these folks zoning permits to build in these areas, knowing that there's risk. And for these insurance companies to not insure these homeowners is just outrageous. And I think there's a conversation that need to happen with the insurance brewer, not only in California, but across this country, because it's getting ridiculous. You got to have 20 different insurances now in California to have coverage. If a house costs $800 million, why do you need 5 policies to cover $1 million policy? or $1 million loss. It's too much. But again, when we talk about greed and we talk about the political influence that a lot of these folks are utilizing, we got change to make, and this is where the fight begins. And we have to be intentional as homeowners and folks here in California. Again, get a part of the civic process, get involved, find out what's going on, make sure that your voices are heard, so that these type of issues we can address and make sure that they get on the ballot. Also, in San Francisco, there's a measure on the ballot that's they're trying to put on the ballot for disabled affordable housing. It will likely go on the ballot. The San Francisco supervisors ruled their committee to advance the ballot measure for November to seek to secure $8.25 million annually for 20 years to fund affordable housing for seniors, people with disabilities, and low-income families. This was introduced by Supervisor Aaron Peskin. This measure is the aim to help people that's earning less than 30%. Let me just tell you, folks in San Francisco, it's a large number of folks that are earning less. We need all of the affordable housing that we can. Our elders and seniors who work so diligently through their time should not be put out on the streets. We have to find a way. So this is going on the ballot. Hopefully folks get out and vote. Look out for our elders and look out for folks with disabilities, as the housing crunch is even tighter here in San Francisco and across the Bay Area. And these folks with disabilities and our elders need affordable housing. So measures like this will definitely help support those folks. Also, an officer shoots and kills a man near the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee. Police officers from Columbus, Ohio, fatally shoot a man near 14th and Valley Streets in Milwaukee, close to the National Convention. Witness reported that two homeless men were fighting. One pulled out a knife. Officer responded and fired the man with the knife. Again, tensions are high after what happened this past Saturday. Unfortunately, that someone lost their life in this situation. But again, as tensions are high, more and more folks are paying attention and watching out what's going on. Also, in Atlanta, the public schools of Atlanta is doing a pilot for student-led mental health board. The Atlanta Public Schools will pilot a student-led mental health board during the 2025 school year, involving 5 schools. The initiative, proposed by 17-year-old Iman Cook from Benjamin E. Mays High School, aims to address students' mental health struggles such as anxiety and depression. I think this is really important, and I think a lot of this came up after COVID. You all know we've had young people come on this show and talk about the depression, the anxiety, some of the things that they went through during the COVID pandemic. Also, after, our young people right now are dealing with the highest stress levels. When we look at the cuts that are impacting the youth programming and things of that nature, and we look at the stresses of school and just maneuvering outside after COVID-19 has been a lot. When we look at the high school suicide numbers across this country, it is terrible. Okay, mental health is needed. I am excited, and I'm going to follow up with this initiative and this program in Atlanta to see how it goes. Again, we have to find any way we can to get mental health in our schools, mental health to our young people, as they are being impacted day to day, and they need this support. Lastly, there was a tragic case here of a young boy, I believe 3 years or younger, who was killed from fentanyl. I guess some fentanyl in the area killed this young man. Very terrible stuff. Again, we having our DA come on. I know there's been some changes, some things that's been happening to curb some of this here in San Francisco, but this conversation of fentanyl, we got to keep talking about it, as our young people, families are being impacted, more and more lives taken. But again, we got work to do. Also, tragically, a young lady was shot and killed in Oakland, upcoming artist. I don't know all the details. I'm hearing different things. Again, there's gun violence in our community. As we continue to find ways to curb this gun violence, is going to take all of us. The days ahead is getting dark. The violence, the number of shootings that are going on in our community right now is so an important issue and a topic that we got to address and continue to, as community, come together to fix. Again, I'm looking for more preventative ways. There's a lot of reaction. And I know there's other folks doing this violence prevention. We need some preventative measures that's going to impact our community. When we talk about gun violence, it is taking a toll on our communities. We're looking for dark days ahead if the trend that is happening continue to go. A week ago, we was looking here, Mark, 20 young people shot, couple killed in Detroit at a house party. We had a big pool shooting here in California where 4 people were killed. I mean, this gun violence is outrageous in our community. Again, we have the DA here tonight. We know we've had a spark of a few incidents here in the city of San Francisco, not as bad as some of the other cities. But again, we can ask those questions as well. But this gun violence in our community is a real issue, something that we must attack. We cannot just turn our heads and say, oh, that's the young people. Oh, that's them down the street. This is something that impacts all of us in this community, and we have to do our part to fight and combat this gun violence. So with that being said, Brother Mark, I know it's been a while. We're going to see if you can get through this.
All right.
Mark got all of the events that's going on. Please, Brother Mark, let the people know what's going on.
Absolutely, Bishop. Let's go ahead and jump straight into the events. Join us for Sunday Streets Excelsior Cyclovia on July 21st from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Mission Street from Teresa to Avalon to Geneva Avenue. Enjoy free recreation, health resources, music, dance, and more. And join us for the King's Accountability Group's soft grand opening on Sunday, July 21st. Arrive at 9:45 a.m. Event starts at 10 a.m. and the location will be at 2801 Moran Avenue in Richmond. And save the date for Sunnydale's annual Community Health Fair on July 27th from 12 to 4 p.m. at Hers Park, located at 1701 Visitation Avenue. Enjoy free health screenings and win gift cards. And join B Magic's Back to School celebration and backpack giveaway on August 3rd from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 1050 McAllister Street. For more information, see the link below. And explore the Bayview Community Block Party with Sunday Streets on August 4th from 12 to 5 p.m. Enjoy 2 blocks of car-free fun on Galvez Avenue with activities for the whole family. And join Mo Magic's Back to School celebration and backpack giveaway on August 10th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 155 Jennings Street. For more details, see the link below. And join Sunday Streets San Francisco in the mission for a car-free day of fun on August 25th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Valencia Street from Dubuisson on the 26th. Enjoy music, dance, health resources, and more. And experience the 4th annual Recovery Day at Bodeker Park at 241 Edie Street in San Francisco for September 6th from 12 to 3 p.m. Community service awards, food, and resources will be available. And the Suicide Awareness Block Party. Join us at Mackey's Corner, Civic Center Plaza on September 7th from 1 to 5 p.m. There will be music by Tony, Little Kayla, and more. For more information, see the phone number and the link below. And explore car-free fun at the Weston Edition Community Block Party. You can join us on Golden Gate Avenue and Buchanan Street Mall Park on September 22nd from 12 to 5 p.m. There will be activities for the whole family. And the Heart of Richmond District's Night Market, where you can join us for fun, food, and festivities at Clement Street between 22nd and 25th Avenues. It'll be July 20th and August 17th, as well as September the 21st from 4 to 8 p.m. There'll be a night to remember with family and friends. Don't miss out. And the Brown Bombers are in their 25th year, and you can register for youth football and cheerleading. To start off the 2024 season, it's a $150 fee, which includes gear. To get more details, see the link below. And visit the Southeast Community Center Farmers Market Thursdays from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. now through October 31st for fresh produce, baked goods, and community activities at 1550 Evans Avenue. And join the SECC at Hungry Cafe from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. for co-working, eatery, and social space at the Southeast Community Center. And the University of San Francisco's Community Counseling and Wellness Center offers 12 weeks of free therapy for San Francisco residents over 18 facing barriers to care. To get more information, email the link below. And the Dreamkeeper Initiative's Senior Home Repair Program offers up to a $50,000 forgivable loan to low to moderate income seniors and or disabled homeowners in distressed San Francisco neighborhoods. To get more information, see the link below. And the San Francisco Human Rights Commission holds regular bi-monthly meetings on the second and fourth Thursday of each month at 5 p.m. in San Francisco City Hall Room 416. You can attend in person or via Zoom. And the Fathers to Founders Child Support Clinics are every Tuesday and Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 232 6th Street. Get guidance on child support debt, license holds, custody, and visitation rights. For more information or an appointment, refer to the phone number below. And the Dreamkeeper Initiative's Down Payment Assistance Loan Program offers up to a $500,000 loan down payment assistance and up to $30,000 for closing costs. Get connected with housing counselors, lenders, and realtors. For more details, see the link below. And join the Fathers to Founders for Fatherhood Reimagined Therapy group sessions every Tuesday from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Food is provided. For more information or to RSVP, see the number below on your screen. And the APRI hosts youth workshops, job referrals, resume building with skills for internships, networking, and community service hours. To get more details, see the number below on your screen. You can also join Dad Politics weekly sessions hosted by Fathers to Founders. These sessions provide a safe space for Black fathers in San Francisco to engage in meaningful conversations every Friday from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at Holy Stitch at 1059 Market Street. To RSVP, see the link below. And our Fillmore's Friday Night Market every Friday from 4 to 9 p.m. on O'Farrell Street between Fillmore and Steiner, where there's live music, food, vendors, dominoes, prizes, and fun. Vendor booths are still available. For more details, see the link below. If you're still interested in the vaccination site for COVID-19 boosters and monkeypox antiviral pill treatments, see the times and locations below on the screen. And visit the community living room for free breakfast and grab-and-go lunch every Monday through Friday at the City of Hope Cafe. For more details, see the screen below. And visit the San Francisco Office of Financial Empowerment for free, confidential, one-on-one smart money coaching. Get financial guidance in English or in Spanish. Available to anyone living or working in San Francisco. For more information, see the link below. And be a mentor in SFUSD's Mentoring for Success. Sign up to volunteer as an individual or group mentor district-wide. Make an impact. Sign up below. And join our show to promote your business, nonprofit, or community impact on Hidden Gems, or share your expertise on an educational Thursday, or be a panelist on Sunday Conversations. And you can keep up with both sides of the conversation's latest shows and community outreach events. Follow us on all social media platforms. You can also subscribe to our newsletter at bsotc.org. And both sides of the conversation welcomes volunteers to join our mission to uplift and support the community. Make a positive impact. Become a volunteer today. Email us at hr@bsotc.org. And both sides of the conversation invite your support for our podcast and community engagement. Your generous contributions will greatly aid us in enhancing our programming. And be tuned in for upcoming shows. Our Educational Thursday will be on July 25th at 7 p.m. with Ms. Dawn Hills, where she'll discuss what is your financial number legacy. And our next Sunday conversation on July 21st, we'll talk about Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. And that'll do it for the news and the events.
Man, right on, brother Mark. That was electrifying. A lot of events going on as we try to continue to get all the information out to the community. So y'all can't say, hey, I didn't know what was going on, Bishop. Where was the people at? Hey, we letting you know what's going on while we let Mark go ahead and wet his whistle here. He's been through a lot of those events and announcements. Our amazing DA has just stepped in the building. We'll have Mark go ahead, give her a warm welcome, and let's bring her up and have a conversation with San Francisco District Attorney Brooke Jenkins.
Absolutely. San Francisco District Attorney Brooke Jenkins, sworn in on January 8th, 2023, is dedicated to public safety and justice reform. A Bay Area native and Black and Latino woman, Jenkins has experienced the criminal justice system's imbalances firsthand. With family impacted by both sides of the courtroom and police misconduct, she advocates for proportional justice. Jenkins has dedicated her career to justice, starting as a prosecutor in 2014 and advancing through various units and resigning in 2021 due to dissatisfaction with the office's direction. She holds degrees from the University of Chicago Law School and UC Berkeley. It's our pleasure to introduce the Honorable District Attorney, Ms. Brooke Jenkins.
You know, we got to give you some love up in here, Brooke.
Thank you.
On, Brooke? How you doing this evening?
I'm doing well. I had to escape the loud children in my house, but I'm making it.
I already knew. I knew it was going to be a tight. We know you have a short time here, but we brought you here because, you know, you're doing an amazing initiative. And I know there's a lot of things going on, and I know we have a little bit of time, but we want to talk about this Access to Hope initiative that you all are doing at the DA's office. You know, we talk about innovative ways to change public safety, law enforcement, engaging with community. It's initiatives like this that moves us forward. We need more, especially the times that we are headed in now. When we look at what's going on, we need that some kind of union building. We know that there's never going to be an instant grab a hold from all community folks, but the work that you are doing is definitely changing the narrative. A lot of folks across the country are watching some of the things that we're doing here in San Francisco. I talked in the early opening. We've been getting slammed, okay, at the Republican convention, talking about the crime and the things that's going on. And we know you're passionate about change and fairness. And I've told folks, you know, I stand behind Brooke because what she's doing, not only to bring opportunities, you changing that look of what the DA means to the community, also bringing community in to support change and being open to dialogue. And we know there's folks that's frustrated for different things as they go through different processes within what the DA office holds. But what you're doing with this initiative is phenomenal. I've been a part of it, but just wanted to open it up to you and say thank you and give you opportunity to talk to the people.
Yeah, so, you know, of course, everybody knows the job that we technically have to do in the DA's office, which is prosecution. And you know, for me, so many people use the word reform and they talk about changes, but to certain people, they've tried to couch that as just sort of doing away with consequences or dropping accountability out of the equation, which I don't think really constitutes true systemic reform. And so for me, I came into the table 2 years ago wanting to really reimagine what reform should look like for our office. And a part of that was making sure that we had a footprint in the community, right? We can't just be in some ivory tower, right, raining down as the strong arm of the law on communities. We have to really embed ourselves in communities so that hopefully people don't even end up with a case in our office. And so it's about moving upstream instead of reacting after something bad happens. And then you are, you know, again, you've already got one additional victim and now you've got somebody else caught up with a case in the system. And so I really wanted to get to the root cause of why so many people end up in our system. And when you really think about it, it's a lack of hope. And so that's where the name Access to Hope was born, was me trying to say, what do we need to give people so that they feel that they have upward mobility in society and they don't feel as likely to resort to criminal behavior because they feel like they have nothing to lose. And so for me, I said, well, what is this going to look like? what is the programming going to look like? What is that community footprint going to look like? And where we sort of landed was, let's really work with our teenagers and our young adults. And a part of that, like I said, is giving them a trajectory, helping them see a vision for their futures, and that they have a way to move up within our society, to take care of themselves, to transcend oftentimes very difficult financial circumstances that they're in right now. But again, to see a pathway, because that's really what motivated me my entire life. You know, being raised by a single mom who was 21 when she had me, I didn't want to struggle the way she had to struggle. And so I set my sights on being a lawyer, and I didn't let go of that my entire life, because I just wanted to have a different way of living than what I grew up in. And so what we decided on was, okay, let's figure out how we expose kids and young adults to what we do here in the DA's office. And I don't just mean careers in law necessarily, but we have victim advocates, we have policy makers, we have investigators, we have paralegals, we have people who do all sorts of different things, even social workers. How about we expose them to the many career paths that we have here in our office by bringing them inside the office, and then dedicating ourselves to them for more than a week or two or one visit. Let's make this a relationship, an investment that we make in them. And so we created the Access to Hope Fellowship program, which we have separate fellowships for high school students and young adults 18 to 24. And so it just really excites me to be able to bring them into the office for periods of time where we, again, make a long-term commitment to them that they will come in on a consistent basis so that we can invest in them and what their dreams are. Like I said, engage in career exploration with them throughout our office, but also if they have a dream of being something else, let's say they want to get into marketing or they want to get into tech, then we should use our connections. I mean, I go around the city every day meeting with different industries and people to bridge that relationship for them into an industry that they have interest in so that maybe they can land an internship there or a job or career opportunity there. And so that's a large part of what these fellowships are about, as well as conducting workshops with them on personal and professional development. Zoom etiquette, right? So they're living in a new day and age that none of us grew up in. And so it's making sure that they understand what your background needs to look like, how you should be dressed, right? All sorts of things to make sure that they're presenting themselves in the best light. Talking to them about social media. I didn't have to worry about everything I did as a high schooler or a college student getting put online and living forever, but they do. And so really explaining to them and helping them work through sort of what the boundaries they need to set for themselves are with respect to social media and that camera that's in their hand every day, so that they don't have something happen that then has a long-term impact on their lives. So just thinking about the different sort of things that they need to learn that they aren't necessarily getting at school or might not be getting at home, that we just see will, again, promote their long-term growth and development as they move into adulthood. And so that's really what it's about, is empowering students, empowering young people to really have hope that no matter where I start off, I can go anywhere I want to go. You know, I often say, started from the bottom, now we're here. Now, don't get me started. I'm on the Kendrick Lamar side of the debate, but I said one Drake line I'll use. So, you know, but I want them to feel like, yeah, I can start from the bottom, but I'm going to get to where I want to go. But somebody has to help me chart that path and create a network that helps me get there. And so, again, that's a large part of Access to Hope. The other part is that we now are taking students on a civil rights excursion. This is for high school students down to the South to really learn about the civil rights movement. John Henry, you and I went on that trip actually at the same time. And as you know, it's a really just emotionally driven, emotionally impactful trip that really takes us into the places where so much of the Jim Crow era really just harmed our people. But it's not to take them into a negative space in their minds, but it's to really help them see what our people went through to give them the opportunities that they have now and why they can't just throw that away, but also to show them people and to introduce them to survivors of that time period who can tell them, look, let me tell you what I went through, but how I came to be a leader, how I use that as an incentive to push myself beyond what I thought I was capable of. And so I want them to carry that strength into their daily lives. While they might not be facing, the KKK, they're facing, covert racism. They're facing, again, all kinds of systemic discrimination and other things that I want them to feel empowered to push past and to break through. So that's a lot of what we're doing. We took 20 kids on that first piloted trip. We're planning to take another set next April. And so, again, just trying to uplift our children and our young people, because they are the future. And we can't just take from community. We can't just be, the person that comes in after the fact, but we have to prevent people from ending up in this system. And that's what I'm committed to.
Man, DA Jenkins, it's phenomenal. And you're right. I was there on that trip. I'm still emotional from some of the things that I've learned. I was talking to Randy in the open. I said, you guys should have changed it to access for all, because I think all of our young people, the folks in the community, needs this. I was there to be a part of that first fellowship graduation, and I was impressed. And I just want to say thank you again, because what I've seen for our young people, and I remember, if you remember, I told you when I was coming back, I said, I'm glad I did this trip at 40 years old and not as a young man, because that stuff is heavy. But I wanted to see what the young people and how would they react, and just to see how the young people in San Francisco showed up and just accepted all of that responsibility. And I know the challenges of getting up, moving around to do that trip was phenomenal. One of the things that, I really wanted to just say, a lot of times people don't see, they think, well, what is this doing for young people? But these initiatives really, like you said, change the trajectory of young people, as we are dealing with an economic crisis where so many youth programs are being cut. So many things are happening right now. But just to think about the young people, and you giving those young people the opportunity. And, we talked about the HBCUs coming to San Francisco, and your office being one of those offices for Harvard lawyers and some of the other youth to come in and get that both sides experience of the prosecuting side and on the defense side. Is so important and powerful for the community. And I think sometimes, folks miss that. And I think one of the things that I'm so appreciative about what's going on, what you all are doing, is not only you guys are taking the step forward to make that, but the polarizing and the change of what the DA office actually looks like. In our community, sometimes it's, like you said, there's the DA's office. We don't want to be there. But bridging that gap, I know it's a challenge. And it's affecting us in different ways. But to have you in this position, I was telling folks that we're coming to this last quarter, as they say, in election season, stuff happening. When you think about what's being said out in the community, in this political arena, we look at what's going on with Project 2025, and some of the stuff that they're talking about in law enforcement and how that impacts our youth. When you see these type of things as a prosecutor and see what's going on, how does that get you to pivot and think about, like, to be intentional for the future, to make sure our young people are steered in the right way and on a positive trajectory?
For me, that started 10 years ago when I first entered the DA's office. I never dreamed of being a prosecutor. People laugh about that all the time. I mean, none of us, you grow up Black in America, you don't think of being a prosecutor. It doesn't cross your mind. You don't think of working with police. But for me, I wanted to be on the side that determined what the outcomes were. I wanted to make sure that whoever sat in that seat in orange could look across that courtroom and say, maybe I have a chance at getting a fair shake here, right? Maybe this person won't treat me differently because of what I look like. Of course, I have to have a consequence if I did something, but this person will just make it fair. And that has been what I've tried to do since day one. Like I said, I started 10 years ago in this office. But after becoming the elected DA, or first the appointed, then the elected, my obligation in my mind was that this is about, if you're going to be, right, only the second Black DA in San Francisco history, right, the first Latina DA in San Francisco's history, then you have an obligation to change the game for the way we do this, right? And to make sure that we aren't just being the enemy. We aren't doing wrong. We aren't just, for lack of a better term, being perceived as the person who comes in to harm, but that we are doing everything we can with the power, the influence, the connections that we have to uplift, to pull people up so that they, again, don't end up in this system. Because you're right, circumstances are just getting harder. When we talk about what we're down to 5% of the population here in San Francisco, the cost of living here, the lack of access often to adequate education, public education in San Francisco. We've seen what's been going on in the public schools with the removal of algebra. Thankfully, it's coming back to middle schools. Who is saying that our kids aren't smart enough to take algebra, right? That's what's happening. And so they feel that. And so instead, I need them to not just see that somebody like me is in this seat. I need them to understand we have to change systems from within. You can't do it from the outside. The only way you change things is to come within and be able to bring your own vision, your own perspective. And like I've said, we can achieve public safety and we can have appropriate consequences, like people understand they have to have when they do something, but also do it the right way and do other things on top of that. Like I said, this is a non-prosecutorial effort that I'm undertaking alongside the regular everyday work that we have to do. And so that's why it's so critically important to me, is that I want our people to be able to have a chance at seeing systems that have decimated our communities and done us wrong, maybe start to shift into a place where it's like, okay, we're going to be treated fairly.
Man, Brother Mark, go ahead, jump in there. I know you got a burning question.
I do. And again, thank you, DA Jenkins, for being here with us this evening. One of my mentors used to have a very profound statement. He says, people don't get what they want, they get what they picture. And because of this Access to Hope initiative, you are literally giving young people the opportunity to picture themselves in these environments, in these scenarios. Can you kind of elaborate a little bit more on how the Access to Hope initiative aims to build trust? Because particularly in the system, as you know, we haven't always had the best relationship where we trusted the system to respect the common people. So can you talk about how you're using this program to build trust in that relationship again?
Yes, absolutely. And a part of building that trust is one, making that connection, having that inroad with young people so that, again, they see you in a positive light. They see, to think that hopefully we have, 24 students who walked away from that trip and said, the DA's office, of all things, the DA's office just paid for me to go on a 9-day trip out of California. Some of them had never flown on a plane, right? Their first opportunity on a plane was because the DA's office took them on a trip to go learn about their history. And so I want them to walk away, not again seeing us as the enemy, but seeing us as the uplifter, seeing us as that entity that gave them opportunities that maybe they wouldn't have otherwise received. And so you're right. If you don't see, and the fellowships part of it is, if I don't see that picture, if I don't have that vision tangibly of what I want to be, where I can go, what the opportunities are that are available to me, then how can I ever chase anything, right? If all I see is, the circumstances that are around me when I set foot out of my apartment every day, and it's not positive, then I'm drowning in that. I've got to see something outward that I can now pull myself towards. And that's really what this is about.
Man, very powerful stuff. I know we got like 10 minutes. You got to get back to your daily things that you have to do. A couple things outside of Access to Hope that I just want to see if we could pull a little bit. I know there's been an update over the last several months, this last 100 days after the last time you was here, probably like 100 days. We talk about the fentanyl crisis here in San Francisco. There's been a number of arrests, things changing. Just wanted to see if you give an update to the community where we at. I know there's been some changes. I know we got a lot to go, but there's been some changes. If you want to update the community, just let folks know where we at in this process.
So we are still making strides on this fentanyl crisis. I have to say, we finally, in the month of June, actually had the fewest number of overdose deaths that we have seen in the last 2 or 3 years, like for a monthly stat. And so that is an amazing signal. I mean, we're like 10 deaths below sort of what the average has been monthly for the past 2 years. And so again, it's about saving lives. It's about making fentanyl, right, more difficult for people to purchase and less available on our streets, period. The arrest numbers are through the roof. Our partnership with the feds has been tremendous. It's played a huge role in our ability to really make an impact on the street, but also in the courtroom. Because on my side of things here in state court, people are saying, whoa, I don't want to end up over there. And so we are seeing a far greater willingness for people to actually own their accountability, right, for what they're doing and what they have done. And so our felony resolutions are up tremendously. We're seeing more cases resolve. But for me, the other side of this coin is how we get people into treatment. And so I have been adamant at the table that we as a city can no longer embrace drug use. It just can't happen. And I don't mean from a law enforcement standpoint. I mean from a public health standpoint, from a human standpoint. We cannot enable people to kill themselves. And that's what we've been doing, right? To put up billboards that just basically say, use the drugs with your friends so that you don't die alone. I mean, essentially is what it says. And to hand out drug paraphernalia, to do all these types of things, and then to leave people on the street until they decide they one day wake up and want treatment isn't working. And we have a disproportionate percentage of people dying that are Black on our streets, and we can't continue to watch that happen. We have to change the culture here in San Francisco to say, look, you need help, and we are going to do everything in our power to get you into that help. And to make it attractive to people, to really push them towards it, and stop just handing them, tools for a slow suicide. That's not what we should be doing. And so a lot of what I do also is, like I said, sit at the table with other city agencies responsible for that side of things to give my perspective on what it's going to take to get people some help, because I don't think the criminal justice system is built to get them there. It's not. And so, that's a lot of what we're trying to do. And we are seeing a slow uptick in the numbers of people accepting treatment, which is good.
Man, that's always great to hear. This fentanyl is, just outrageous in our community. I know earlier in the opening, we talked about the young 3-year-old who was killed by fentanyl, inhaling it. Very tragic stuff. One of the emails that I received today, because you were coming on, a trend that's going on across the Bay Area and a little bit here in San Francisco. One of the elders reached out to me. There's this thing going on with folks robbing our elders. And I said last week on our show, I'm not okay with this. Whenever someone thinks that it's okay to attack and rob our elders and physically punch them and things of that nature that we seeing on social media, it's happening more and more. They want to know, what is the DA's office doing to help protect our elders in the community, and how are we holding folks accountable for those type of situations?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. It's an issue that we have seen skyrocket over the last several years. There used to be a street code. Y'all know, you don't mess with women, you don't mess with babies, you don't mess with old people. Every rule in the book seems to have gone out of the window now. And we're seeing nannies pushing strollers be robbed. We're seeing, grandmas, out be beaten in order to have their purses taken. And it's just something that I have no tolerance for, I'll be honest. And so one of the things that I had to do when I took over was decide how cases involving those types of crimes would be handled. Because normally when I was a younger prosecutor, they would be handled by a large pool of younger lawyers who have been practicing maybe 2, 3, 4 years in our general felonies unit. And I quite honestly didn't think that they had the skill level to be able to handle what I felt were very, very serious cases like this, where we saw, 80-year-old women being beaten, like I said, and put in the hospital. And so I started a brand new unit called the Vulnerable Victims Unit, which houses any violent crimes against seniors, so that they were handled by more senior lawyers who have more experience, who can really work more closely with victims to make them comfortable to come in and testify, to sort of usher them through the system, but also who understood, again, a little bit more and had more perspective about what true accountability needs to look like in those instances. You know, I think we just have to get to a place, like I said, where we are no longer verbally tolerant as a society of what's happening. And some of that is having, you know, older, more experienced folks kind of telling our young people that that's not okay, right? We don't approve of what you are doing. And so that, I think, needs to continue. We need to have kind of the OGs telling these kids, we're not going to sit by and watch you guys do this kind of stuff. Because I think, like I said, there came a point where every rule on the street was abandoned, and it's been a free-for-all. And so I've been just trying to be consistent with, like, no, I'll be fair to you, right? Consequence will be proportional, but you will have a consequence when you do this stuff. Because if it's my grandmother that you attack, I'm going to have some feelings about that. And so I have to treat every other grandmother as though she's mine.
Man, definitely, man. We know we got to get you out here. We thank you, community. I hope our elders who are watching, the DA has spoken. Again, you know, we have a transformative DA here, you know, has transformed the DA office. I tell folks, if you go down there and just see, she's made this space for all people in the community. You know, we have an election coming up. She's on the ballot to do her thing. Y'all see her in the community. Like I said, this is something that is a blessing to our people here in San Francisco. We have a DA who's maneuvering through the communities. She's a polarizing figure. She stands up for the people, and she's doing all that she can to make sure that change is happening. She's doing it with this Access to Hope program. She's working with the people in the community. She's protecting our elders. Again, this is what a DA looks like, and change is happening. And we're just thankful to have you here. And you have a phenomenal team that's going above and beyond. I want to shout out Tiffany and Rain and all the folks down there that continue to push the movement of change and just your openness to the community. We haven't seen this in a while, and it's good to see. And I know folks got their things that they're going to have to say. And it's always pushback. But again, when you see someone who looks like you, that's in the community, that supports the people, uplift the community. She's been consistent. All I can say is I've been out there, okay? She's been consistent, taking care of the family. You know, she stopped, took a break from the kids to come talk to the community here on both sides of the conversation. So again, DA Brooke Jenkins, thank you. I know there's a journey ahead. And again, we know you'll be steadfast and committed to the continued change here in San Francisco. Thank you for all the work that you are doing to make the public safety here in San Francisco a better place for all of our residents and folks. And you continue to uplift the community. We just want to say thank you for your time. And again, God bless you and continue to keep doing the work you're doing. And we know, like another Kendrick Lamar, they not like you. They not like you.
That's my song.
That's my DJ. That's my DJ. I ain't gonna tell that's my DJ. Well, thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you. And the one last thing I want to say real quick is Access to Hope also includes reentry support, which I didn't get a chance to mention. But for those folks who are coming back home from prison, out of the system, we are trying to do everything we can to help folks get on the right trajectory from that standpoint, from that starting point too. So you can reach out to the same link, and we will do everything we can to help connect those folks to resources as well so that they are successful. So, but no, you're right, trying to change the game, like I said, and thank you so much for having me on, and I'm going to continue the work, keep pushing it forward.
Man, thank you very much. Have a blessed evening. Thank you. We'll see you out in the community, DA.
Thanks.
All right. There you guys have it, man. Our phenomenal San Francisco DA. I'm gonna just tell you, hey, nobody's like her. I've seen it. I've been in this city, and again, you know, she's committed to the words that she said. I know a lot of folks don't always agree. This is political. People always have their difference of opinion. But one thing that I can say, because I walk in these rooms, in these spaces, she's been consistent. She's been standing on her business. And again, she's done everything that she can to make the DA's office a part of the community. And I know sometimes our community don't want to reach across to bridge that gap, but I've personally witnessed the work that they're doing. Access Hope is one of those programs, but she continues to push through. and make a difference and a change. I know some folks don't like it, but there is change happening. There is some things that is going on in San Francisco. I know all of the data and the numbers folks have issues with. Oh, the data says this, but I still see this. Hey, there's no zero crime in no city. But our city is taking a stance to make a change and make things better. So I'm excited about that. All right. I know all y'all in the community have been waiting. We got some phenomenal brothers coming up here, okay? The King's Accountability Group. I know all of the sisters out there been waiting. I know all the people in the community. They've been asking me, Brother Bishop, where's all the good brothers that's doing work in the community? Let me tell y'all. We got some phenomenal brothers here. I support. See, when I put my stamp on it, y'all know that's good brothers, all right? These brothers right here, they're doing some powerful stuff. Come listen to what they're going to do. They're about to do amazing grand opening. They're going to be impacting the community throughout the Bay Area. But again, when we talk about kings, these are kings, and they do hold each other accountable in the community. With that being said, I'm going to bring up the first king, my guy, Coach Ron G. Welcome back to both sides of the conversation, King.
What's up,
going
man?
on?
Hey, look, how do you follow Brooke, man? Why you do me like that? How do you follow Brooke, man? Look, shout out to her, man. Her commitment to the neighborhood, to the community. First of all, her commitment to her household is just powerful, man. And just what she's doing is amazing. I'm just super ecstatic to be on the same platform as her. Man, I'm telling you, Jay Hen, you doing a big deal for the community, bro. Let's get it going. Mark, you great. Your voice is killing it. I'm ready to let people know what we got.
Hey, Ron, I don't want you to say that too loud because I still have a group of people out here that don't appreciate the work the bishop does. Okay, I got some people out there that's like breaking branches, saying, "Oh, we got to stop him. His voice is too loud. He's impacting the people."
Come on, come on.
You already get me fired up. All right, I see a couple more brothers back there. Let's bring all these good brothers.
Bring my guys in with me.
Coach Lee West, I see you, brother. Coach Lee West, what's going on, King?
Man, what's going on, Kings? Man, it's blessed to be here. We actually wrapping up practice right now. I'm over here ushering out some princes that are about to transition into being kings. So it's wonderful that you guys had us on here and have us on here right now. Like Ron said, how you got us following up after her? Like that's tough, man.
It just worked out that way. Okay,
he's so dynamic.
It just worked out that way. Don't worry, the Kings is here. They will blow up the spot tonight. Okay, they will blow up the spot tonight. That's all I can say. All right, my brother Coach T is somewhere. His camera is still off. As soon as he gets his camera on, we'll bring him up. But let's get started because there you go. Hold on. Look, he's like, hold on, Jay Head. What are you talking about? All right, we can't forget about this, King. When you talk about health, when you talk about wealth, when you talk about a brother who's consistent, he's also a king. My brother, Coach T. Welcome to both sides of the conversation, King. Look, he didn't have his mic.
On, man? The mic is right. The mic is right, man. We good to go. We fired up in here, man. Yeah, you got us following the hard act, man. But we here and we ready, man. We stay ready, man. Let's go.
Hey, listen, T, it's not a hard act to follow. It's the best act to follow. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, see, God made all of this work out. I don't know. But tonight, the Kings is here to blow up the spot for the people in the community. Let's go. Let's talk about all this amazing stuff, Ron. Let's kick it off with you because I think there's mothers out there. There's community folks. We're looking for something.
Right out the gate.
The Kings are delivering. Let's go.
Right out the gate, man. I am super grateful. We always start things out with a little gratitude, man. So I'm super grateful, man, for this platform and the fact that you're giving us this opportunity to present to this huge audience, you guys. So what we do here and what we got going on in this community, man, is a beautiful thing. We've had an opportunity to partner with Salesians Youth Club in the city of Richmond. It's on the borderline of Richmond and San Pablo. We already know what's going on with the triangle, North Richmond, South Richmond, and all that stuff. Well, we're here to show people that we care about the community. What we got going in that community is going to change lives. It's going to affect kids for years to come, man. And our brothers that we got going, our kings that we got coming in to do this job is well prepared. Everything that we're doing is going to be intentional and deliberate. Our program is being designed to be fail-proof, bro, man. So I got some great people here with me, Brother Terrence, man, and my man Lee West, two of the top people that helped me put this whole program together, man. And we're ready to do some great things, man. Our grand opening that we're going to have is going to be on Sunday. And we just can't wait to show you exactly what we're going to do. We actually got some great designing going on right now. Our artwork is going to really showcase what we've done in the past and what we're bringing to the community. So we got stuff that's going to really amaze people. So right now, today, man, it's just an honor to be around you guys, man. And like I said, the program is well designed and up and ready for everybody to get going, man. So as far as what we're doing right now, the biggest thing that we're going to do on Sunday is really show the community exactly how we got started. And that's just really what we did to get to this point. And that means building this organization, creating opportunities, and showing people how to be the best version of themselves, especially these youth, man. We care about the youth more than anything in the world. We know that's the future. If we don't get started at that point, then what do we really have? So this mentor program we got is called Prince to Kings. And that's the main reason we got this whole organization started, as far as our connection with Salesians, that is. You know, our organization is built on accountability. And how can you be more accountable than represent your community and tying the youth to accountability? The program is built on accountability. It's designed to help youth to understand their own self, understanding how to be better men, how to be better fathers as they get to that point, as they age older, but just really just showing them how to be the best version of themselves, man. So we just got some great things that are coming down the pipeline. We are super excited about Sunday, and I can't wait to see you guys out there, man. So that's where we're at, bro.
Man, and you know, I want to say this, Ron, before Terrence or Coach Lee go. You know, one thing that I do appreciate what you all are doing, you know, you don't just take the focus of just the sports. And I like how you bring the whole dynamic of uplifting these young brothers, because that piece is missing right now in our community. And I know Coach T, you know, Terrence is big on, you know, working with young people and giving back. And I think that's what we need right now with the young brothers. And I think this is where the Kings Accountability Group does so much, not just here in the Bay Area, but, you know, you guys, I've been on those calls. You got guys all over the United States uplifting it and networking. I think that's what we have to do as Black men moving forward into this new paradigm of life that we're seeing that's here going on. How do we use our male influence to uplift our young people? And I just love the group because, again, it's emotion with brothers. And I got to get there on Sundays. The last couple of Sundays I've been just beat out, but I got to get there, man. And I got to hold myself accountable, because it's always great energy. It's always great knowledge and wisdom being passed around. And right now, I think the young brothers, especially here in the Bay Area, especially in Richmond, San Francisco, Oakland, we got to have some leaders, some men that could talk to the young people. A couple of weeks ago, you know, we had that tragic incident that happened at Mr. Fab's basketball event. A good friend of mine, you know, and the reason why I say it's so important, because see, every time these incidents happen, it just gives these political folks another opportunity to shut down what we're trying to do. And I think that's why it's so important that we start getting some of these young brothers, because everybody have a different reach. You know, I can reach certain kids that maybe somebody else can't. Ryan, you got to reach on some kids that somebody else can't. And that's why I think it's so important for us all to be a part of this narrative shift and change and making sure that our young people are impacted. But this grand opening is so important, because not only is it space, but we do need a safe space where brothers, young brothers, could come, be emotionally vulnerable, and definitely a space where we could give these young brothers the tools that they need to go out to be the next generation of kings. And I'm excited to see what's going to come out of this, and just happy to be a part of it, brothers.
I mean, everything you said is just exactly what we're doing this for, man. We've created this process, man, so that we can do that, and that's provide a safe space so that we can give these youth some real men to look up to, some men that's going to give them direction. We know that there's a lot of absentee fathers out there, but we're here to show you that God put us in this position to do something about that situation. And we're ready to make sure that we accommodate that. I mean, our program is designed to be fail-proof. If we can get those around us to commit to what we're doing, I'm pretty sure that I can tell you so much about this program as far as the guarantees go, but I can show you better than I could tell you. And I'm saying that because we're going to be intentional and deliberate about making this thing a success. So everything that we got going, I'm telling you, the people that we got behind us, my team that's coming behind us, is full ready to make everything happen. We've already prepared ourselves. We have a well-architected framework when it comes to the design of our program. We have some super intelligent brothers that are going to be on the back end, that are going to be zooming in from all over the country with prepared stuff to host some of the meetings with us. We got workshops that we already have well prepared. And look who I got with me, two of the most fit brothers that's in the industry right now. Look at these two dudes, man. Come on, T, tell me something about yourself.
Yeah,
what we got going?
Before these some of my boys right here. They putting in work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Someone asked,
What's up? Y'all on both sides.
y'all live right now. Y'all live right now. You know what I'm saying? This is National Valley football team. These are the linebackers.
good, Coach. All the ladies gonna be on. Come on, turn the camera back to the
Oh, turn the camera back on him. My bad. I'm sorry. Okay, they said turn. The lady said turn the camera back on the kids.
Come on. Come on. Show them guns off.
Oh man, yeah. So the greatest thing about being a coach and being part of King's Accountability is definitely giving back to the communities and sharing our knowledge. The best line, my favorite line of my mantra is the level of exposure will determine your level of success. So if I've already been somewhere and I need to ask questions, we have people within the group that can help navigate that are older than me, around my age, and so on and so forth. And then I do my due diligence as far as like people that are younger than me that are trying to navigate life and sharing experience. My oldest son is 17 and he's still, figuring things out. And this group and the creation of Prince to Kings is definitely going to be here. Something for us to the age range. Someone put in the chat to ask, who are we going to be servicing? 12 to 18. So, everybody has a story. Everybody has a struggle. And however we can create a safe space for them to feel comfortable and share their vulnerabilities, because there's strength in being vulnerable. As long as they can come out and feel like they have a place of home, a place of security, we want to be that blanket so that we can help uplift them and they can build their pillars of levels of success for themselves. So, yeah, that's what I got for you right now. And I'll pass it off to Coach T, man.
Hey, Coach T, I got to say, Coach T, you got a pivotal part of this because your commitment to wealth and wellness and health is so important. I believe when brothers are fit, when brothers are working out, there's a mental component that brings confidence and change. Yeah. So, Brother T, talk to people. What you bring into this process, brother?
Well, first thing, man, I want to thank both sides of the conversation, man, and Brother John Henry for coming so far, man, bringing this program along. We want to give you your shots out and your flowers, man, right now. The biggest thing with health and fitness, people think it's the aesthetics, the outside, but we're here to develop that mind, man, and that mindset. Just like we were talking about mantras, my favorite line of my mantra is I'm living proof 365. So that means more than just health, fitness. That's mental toughness, that's leadership, that's vulnerability, that's being a man, being a husband, being a father. And these are the goals and the tools we want to develop amongst these youngsters. So coming from the city, I could pull out my bad report card with all F's. I could pull out my juvenile record, 23 cases. So you can't sit there and tell me what can't be done. So you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm bringing to the table. Living proof, 365. You know what it is. King's Accountability Group.
Man, thank you, T. And I just want to say, I want to uplift you. I know my brother Mark got some questions, but your testament and your story is very powerful. And I'm just happy that any young person that gets a chance to meet you, to stand in your presence and receive that knowledge is going to be blessed. You bring it and deliver it like no other. When you talk about top flight brothers, man, you one of those stand-up guys. I always respect you, T. You always stood on business. You always represented the people. And, we just appreciate you, your leadership and what you do for our community. And you keep me inspired, brother. Every time I see you out there climbing to the top of mountains, you and the old lady doing y'all thing, I'll be like, that's what I'm talking about. And you stand down on that, man. So just want to say appreciate you for all that. Brother Mark, I know you got some stuff for the brothers. Go ahead and kick it, King.
Man, first of all, I just want to tip my hat and salute these great men. I understand how important representation is, particularly for our boys. And thank you guys, because y'all are putting in the time. A lot of people can donate. A lot of people can say flowery things, but it's something significant that you can't replace when you are physically in the same space with young men, helping cultivate them. And the thing that I really appreciate more, when you talk about from princes to kings, traditionally here in America, in our culture, we haven't had a rite of passage from boyhood to manhood that's been guided. It's been kind of a free-for-all. Everybody's been trying to figure out their own thing. Coach G, can you talk about the big picture philosophy and why you saw the need to really focus on this age group of transition from boyhood to manhood with Prince to King?
Hey man, Mark, that's an outstanding question, man. And it's just kind of like what my favorite part of my mantra is. I'm honest with God, I'm honest with myself, and I'm honest with everybody around me. And the reason why I focus on honesty is because it's one of the highest principles of integrity that you can possibly have, right? So it's tied to our mission statement. And I mean what I say, and I say what I mean because I implemented that in my son, RJ. And I made sure that if you ain't honest with us, you lost, bro. You have to be honest with me and your mom, period. So our mission statement pretty much states all of that. Our Prince to Kings Youth Mentoring Program, our mission is to empower individuals through a program of action that fosters unwavering commitment to a series of transformative stages. We believe that by adhering to these stages, our process will rarely fail, leading to a profound personal growth and development. We recognize that everybody ain't going to be honest, but we're going to pour time into you. We're going to show you how committed we are to you. We're going to show you by being honest to our principles, being honest to our standards, being honest to what we got going. And so we can bring out ways of showing you that we're going to show you how to have a spiritual awakening. We're going to show you ways that's going to guide you through to principles that can tell you exactly what's inside of you. And that's for you to be honest with you and to be honest with everybody around you. That's what this program is designed. And that's to teach these youth, period. If you can't be honest with God, then you lost. You already headed down the wrong street, and it's going to create a whole lot more problems for you, man. So the program has been sophisticatedly designed around principles and standards. That's a year process. And we've made sure that the process is foolproof. If we get commitments from these kids to be honest from the parents, and they let us do what we know how to do, I can pretty much guarantee you that child has a successful opportunity to be the best version of themselves. We've equipped ourselves with men from all different diasporas of the continent and the world to come out and help us with what we need to get done. And like I said, the biggest thing about kids is they want to see commitment. They want to see consistency, right? I coach baseball. I coach one of the most elite baseball teams in the country, hit and run baseball. And the reason why we're successful is because we're committed to them. My son came out the program. We have kids that just signed in the pros. We do that commitment and because we know what it does. Coach Terrence, his commitment to his son is just unwaveringly, right? My man, Lee West, what he does for his family is amazing. I'm amazed at some of what these two brothers do. And that's just 2 of 70 people that are part of this incredible organization. So like I said, my favorite part of my mantra is being honest with God, honest with myself, and honest with everybody around me, because that's what this program is about in a nutshell.
Hey, Coach Ron G, I said this last time you was on here, and I got to say it again. This is why you're going to have so much favor and success in what you all are doing. We have some people in our community, right, brothers, and Tino, we've all been there. We see these brothers. When you talk about consistency and intentionality, working with young people, it's a lot of brothers in the community that straddle the fence. And that's one thing about you brothers that I know. See, you have to pick a side. And I keep telling them brothers, we see this across the Bay Area and beyond, man. I'm talking to people. These brothers want to straddle the fence. They want to have one foot in the game, one foot working with the kids, one foot they hustling and smoking, and the other kid they trying to preach to the kids. And I need y'all to say this publicly. They got to pick a side. I always tell people, what you do in your personal time is your personal time. But the minute you say you're a coach, you're a mentor, you involving yourself in street activities and you trying to coach young people, it never works. I work with these young people. I see these young people when I'm in juvenile hall, work with them, and I say, hey, you got this brother around you. Why you not going? They say, John Henry, man, he full of crap, man. He out here telling us don't do this and he doing it. I see a lot of these mentors. They on the internet. They smoking weed. They doing all of this stuff. How do we set the precedent? And I know the Kings Accountability Group is doing that. But Ron, from your perspective, this is why we having so much failure with men in our community.
Right.
When it comes to mentorship, these young brother minds, we got to pick a side of the fence we on. We got to pick a side of the fence.
Period. Hands down. Our program, our organization has the backing and the backbones of, and I'm going to say it again, has the backbone of men. Unwaveringly was one of the principles that I stated in our mission statement, meaning that there's no straddling the fence when it comes to King's Accountability. We are what we are, and we mean what we say, meaning that there ain't no straddling the fence. Everybody in this organization that comes through this program that becomes a mentor has to go through a certification process. Your background has to be verified. On top of the fact, you have to uphold that shield because we're gonna check you. There is no none of that. There is no here or there. We have something that we pride ourselves in. You gonna be with us or you gonna be against us, right? Show up and show out, or don't even show up. Period. That's just it.
And
Man,
to add to that, I was gonna say, like, first place, it starts with the ability to self-assess. Like, you got to go and have that real deep, dark conversation with yourself. Like, am I really about this life of uplifting
Inventory.
youth? And yes, exactly. Inventory check. You got to go and see. You can't overexhaust yourself in different lanes, especially when you are trying to play different sides of the fence. You know, you can't half step. You got to go. You got to be full in one direction. What I love about the group is when because a lot of us are entrepreneurs, right? And this is what they told me when I first got in there. Like, Lee, you're great at a lot of things, but you got to have your tree trunk, that one thing first. And as you continue to feed that tree, you pour that tree, you feed it water and it grow. You watch it grow, and you master that one thing. Then you branch off and you go and you do something else. You don't try to take on a million things at once. And this is from older gentlemen talking to me myself. So for the guys that are out there in the streets and then trying to come back and coach or trying to, tell these kids like, oh, you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. And then on social media, so to speak, that the kids can see it because accessibility is, it's everywhere. Like, we can see any and everything that you do. You know what I mean? And you have to hold yourself accountable first and foremost and say, like, all right, I am going to take the reins on this and go and do my due diligence, because all of us have a gift. We all have a superpower, and we all have a purpose. So we got to come back out here and give that to these kids. Most importantly, and of course, adults that need help and assistance as well. Because I come from a home where my father was never around. He signed over his parental rights when I was 7. So growing up in East Oakland, Brookfield to be exact, I went to St. Elizabeth High. Like, I didn't have mom and dad in the stands rooting and hollering for me, but my boys, they did. And then another thing that I had to realize was everybody doesn't have to look like me that want to help me succeed in life. And at a young age, that was hard for me to grasp, because I was like, you don't look like me, so you don't know what I've been through. But then again, as I reflect back and things that I've been through, I was like, no, they was just trying to help me prosper. They were just trying to help me elevate. I have to be willing to take on that support, because everybody that look like us don't necessarily mean that they're the best for us. There's a bunch of other people out there that have our best interests at heart as well. That's why being a part of CAG is King's Accountability Group is so important to me, because we have so many different walks of life that pour into each other every Sunday. But then most importantly, we get the bulk and the strength of everything. All the golden nuggets are when we're off the call. And Ron and I, Top and I, we have so many conversations off the call. It's ridiculous, man. You say, what they say, blood don't make you family all the time. These my blood brothers without being blood.
For real.
Right.
Go ahead, T. I know you were trying to say something before Coach.
Man, I would just wanted to chime in and just kind of express my feelings on leadership, man. It's one of those things where, you got to lead when nobody's watching. You know what I'm saying? You think nobody's watching, they seeing everything you do. So that's why I live how I live and keep 2 feet out the game. I don't tiptoe. If you want to kick it, we can kick it. Let's find a neutral spot to kick it. You know what I'm saying? Come to my environment. You got to realize, you got to understand how to kind of still stay connected, but you can be connected in other areas. You don't have to be connected where you put yourself in vulnerable situations.
Man. Yeah. Oh, go ahead, T. Go ahead.
Now you had a question, then I could follow back up.
Yeah, no, I would just go say what Coach West was saying. I second that. And I love what the Kings are doing, because you guys do have the group for the adults, the grown men, and then you're doing this now for the young people. But I second Coach West, because I know that feeling. This is a trigger that's still to me this day. I feel like I got in the game because my parents, my mom and dad wasn't at my game. So I know people are watching, young brothers. This is a big thing. And this is why I tell the man of the community. I was just talking to my brother Nate Ford about this. I said, look, we got to get the brothers from the community to show up at these games for kids in the community, all during football season, basketball season, in high school, whether it's for a PAL. I tell the brothers, hey, man, even if you don't have a kid playing no more, because I watched this, brothers there with their kids, when their kids are there, then when their kids is gone, they don't show up anymore. more. And these young brothers need that support, because I'm going to tell you, I think if I would have had that support, I probably would have stayed playing basketball. But it's a hard thing for a young man. I tell these single mothers, and I know these mothers, they argue and fight. We can do everything for our kids. And I say, listen, a young man needs his family and he needs his dad there at the game. He needs that male figure, because it is a hurtful feeling when you win a game. Everybody running down there, they say, hey, boy, good job you did. You looking around, where your people at? They not there. And, for me, it was like, hey, I didn't get no attention when I was playing basketball, doing the right thing. But when I was out in the streets, doing my thing out in the streets, I got attention. Mom, what you doing? You got to come to court. That's the only time I got support. I gave up a lot of my hoop dreams. Because I didn't feel that support. And I think now so many young brothers in our community don't have that support. So I'm glad to see that as coaches like you all out there to uplift and support these youth. And I do my best every chance I get to show up to these games, talk to the young people. A lot of the coaches around the city, hey, Bishop, come through, come talk to the kids, because I know how that feel at the end of that buzzer go off to see somebody there cheering you on, man. So I think that's huge, Coach West.
Yeah, the level of our impact is monumental. I don't know if it was Ron or if it was said on the call. It was the story about the kid that told his coach he wanted to try fentanyl, or he was like joking about it at first.
Yeah.
Was that you, Ron?
Yes, it was. And that was one of the, that was actually one of the mentors that's going to be part of this program. But yeah, go ahead, Lee.
No, you could tell a story better than I can. I don't know if you told it already, but that's just, you go ahead.
Yeah, so it's kind of short too. So like I said, we partner with Salesians Youth Club. They already have a slight program running, and a brother Khalid, he's a Latin cat from the city. You know what I mean? He's been working with these youth already, and he just ran up on one of these kids. The mom called him and said, "Hey, I'm kind of worried. I found this tar looking stuff. What is it?" He said, "I'll be over in a minute." He comes over. It's hot. It's heroin, right? So he tells the kid, he said, "Hey man, look, I came over here. Today, I'm here for one reason." The kid was like, "Why?" He said, "I'm here because this is going to be the last time that I get to see you really know who I am. Because after you decide to mess with that stuff that your mom found in your pocket, you won't even know who I am. So I'm here to help you understand that this is the last time that we'll be able to play video games together." Well, what that did for that kid was that changed that kid's life. He decided he made some different changes, but just showing up and showing out. And to summarize our whole process, man, is like, we do this because it allows us to give back to what we know we need to do. The majority of our members wasn't raised by their fathers. And if you notice in the beginning, I said there are an amazing number of absentee fathers in our community. Our job is to make up for that right now. And it's that simple, man. And there's no there's no such thing as halfway pregnant. There's no such thing as being halfway in when it comes to dealing with the situation that we have in our neighborhoods. These kids are dying. Period. This is a situation where it's life or death. We can't afford to play around by being fake. You know what I mean? And just to summarize it in the end, just the last part of our mission statement for the Prince to Kings mission statement is this simple. Through our program, we aim to create a community of individuals who are unafraid to confront their innermost struggles and embrace personal growth. Together, we believe in the power of honesty, commitment, transformative actions to unlock full potential within each participant. We stand by that. We stand by that 100%. And we need you to help us with it. These platforms is going to allow us to get the donations. That's a plug, yes, that we need. That we need. I'm from the streets, but I got to get the money in, y'all. Right? We need that. But I'm just telling you the truth. These platforms that you put together give us an opportunity to connect with everybody. My boy, he from Houston. People in Houston hearing about the Kings right now. We got folks from Houston, from Tech City. Doc, what's up? We got, man, a lot of people out there. Hey, I'm telling you, Bishop, bro, what you do is amazing, bro. I love seeing you everywhere, bro. So, we rocking with you. Wherever you go, we with you.
Man, we love you. Brother Mark, I see you coming off the mark. Mike, go ahead, brother. I know you got something you want to say to the kids.
Mark got the
absolutely.
Radio voice.
But because what Brother Coach Ron was just saying was actually what I wanted to ask about, because in any great work that's going to last, you have to have a support system. And one of the byproducts of there being so many fathers out of place in the community is that you've had a lot of young boys and young men who've been raised primarily by their mothers or female figures.
Yeah.
And it's created a lot of very emotional led decision making in our young men. And one of the things that sturdy, elder, established men do when they're around is they balance that off with some strategic, calculated thinking. It's not to say that we don't have feelings as men, as young men, but we understand we can't be emotional in our decision making. So, can you talk about how the mothers and other people in the community can support what you're doing in helping to serve their sons in growing up into healthy, productive men who are not so emotional? Because this is probably one of the biggest pushbacks I've seen, because I've seen volunteer men, coaches who stepped in to try to give some guidance to a young man, and the mother would jump in and say, hey, don't treat my baby like that. You gotta be nice to him. And sometimes, as we understand, dealing man to man, we have to take a different approach. So how can the mothers in the community support your efforts and what you're doing so it can last?
Trust the process. Honestly speaking, is trust the process. If that's the question, honestly speaking, is if they if they trust the process, if they commit to us and they trust the process, we'll give it. They're gonna see the results. They're gonna see a young man. They're gonna see a person. They're gonna see a tremendous change in a kid that they were probably struggling to get that change out of. And just trust the process. And all you got to do is, it's one thing that Dr. E.T. tells us, that talks about is, the trauma that faces a lot of women and a lot of kids is only because we're not facing that trauma. But if they allow that trust process to take place, and that trauma will start to come out, because we're going to help that kid face that type of trauma. So just trust the process. Top, you had something you want to add to that?
No, I was just that's a deep question, man. That's deep, because a lot of times we get a lot of being a mentor, being a coach, football coach, basketball coach, whatever sport you may be doing, working with these young men, you get a lot of resistance. And I think what needs to happen is it needs to be a communication between the adults and a plan developed and followed by the most of the time. If it's a single mom, we got to help develop the independence in these young men. We can't be driving them to and from everywhere. We can't be making everything for them. We can't be washing all their clothes. We got to teach them how to be men, on how to be independent. Because when you go off to school, college, or whatever you got to do, you got to understand how to get around, how to eat. We used to get a late night transfer, man, and ride one bus all night long.
35 cents.
Pass it out the window, man. Make $5 last. Right. Now everything is automatic, man. Uber Eats, DoorDash, Lyft. Can you send me this? Yeah. Nothing need to be no. Got to learn how to say no.
When I stepped into this coaching sphere and talking with parents, whether it's a single mother or a mother married, like Ron said, trust the process, and also having those tough conversations, because when you leave your child with me, we know that these young men are transitioning into men. So we're going to have tough conversations. We're going to have real conversations. And we are all coaches put in these kids' lives to help transition, handling the hard, because life is already hard, but making it easier for them to transition. So you'll be able to, life is going to be hard regardless of however it goes. But with the experience that we all have in our lives as individuals, we can help guide them through hurdles in their lives, whether they come and talk to us, or, if we're that outlet and they trust us with certain things, because I have a lot of kids that they can't have those conversations with mom. They can't have those conversations with dad. I mean, I have a 17-year-old that can't have certain conversations with me, but we are those outlets. And like I said, talking to moms and just letting them know, like, sometimes some stuff is going to be said that should just stay between us. And if it's something that's alarming, life-threatening, of course, I'm going to bring it to your attention. But as far as like the human nature of a young man turning into a man, and the responsibilities and holding himself accountable for his actions, and making sure that you are surrounding yourself around the right company, because that is going to be vital for all these young men, making sure that you are paying attention to your some 5 friends and so on and so forth on top of there, that they have some type of gusto, something about themselves, and they're moving in a direction of success that aligns with who you are as a person on top of your coaches. That is going to be beautiful. But moms will, I don't want to say take the back seat, because we want everybody to go along for this ride. That's for sure. First and foremost, I'm gonna say that. But you got to let us know, like, is it okay for you to relinquish that mom power of babying them? Because some tough love is gonna come, and we don't have a problem sharing it. But like one of my kids over here right now, his mom, they go out of town and things of that nature. Coach West, can you do X, Y, and Z for us? Oh yeah, no problem. Like, if you trusting and you loving me like that, like with your kid, the responsibility, I see that as probably like the highest form of trust from a coach, where parents are like tapping in with you like that, because they don't necessarily know you from a can of paint outside of coaching, but it's like something about the way that this person moves and the aura that he shares and the way that he directs my child and the way my son responds back to him is super important to my kid, and that's something that's influential to me. That's how I feel the parents respond to me, and I can't fathom that enough. It's such a wonderful feeling. But yeah, just take the back seat or step to the side and let us,
now, Coach West,
thing.
You know, Shaniqua and Shanae, they back there blowing up the spot. Yes, you talking about boy like
Hey, I knew that was coming. You didn't hit it. You normally hit it 2 or 3 times. So I was like, I ain't heard it yet.
Don't be talking to my son like that.
That's my baby.
That's my baby. I don't care who you is. Don't be talking to my boy like that.
Hey, that's so funny, but it's right and exact, man. Look, our whole process to bring it back to this is prior to us including, getting the kid going. We have a process that's part of our code of conduct and our action phases that requires the parent to commit to us by signing off on our documentation. They're committing to the process, that they're going to trust the process, right? So we want to make it known that these are the expectations on your behalf as well as the mentee. So you commit to it. Period.
They throwing rocks out my car now. They blow up the spot. When I see you, Bishop, I'm gonna get you.
Where you get them dudes from?
Exactly. I'm still working on my mantra. Okay, every time I come into the meetings, I hear everybody get to their mantra, and I'm thankful Teenum don't pick me, because I'll be like, "What's my mantra?" But I can't say, "Hey, you can't lead the community if you don't feed the community with the 4 packs of love. You got to feed them with food, information, education, and love, man. That's just what it is." Hey, we getting close to wrapping this thing up. Before we let y'all go, man, this is great. We got to get the information up there. We got the grand opening this weekend. Tell the folks, as you guys doing your outros, sign up opportunities. What is the class looking like? Are y'all open to how many children, things of that nature? We want to make sure that the folks, the families out there know how to connect. 12 to 18. Very important time. These phenomenal brothers, like I said, these are the coaches that you want your kids around. I've seen T-Top. I've seen them in action, Ron G. Because some of these coaches out here, they lose it too. And I seen them. I go, what's going on? How you a coach and you out in the middle of the game losing it and going crazy just as bad as the kid? But these brothers are disciplined. And,
no emotional intelligence.
Yeah, we appreciate the Kings, and I just appreciate you guys' motto about how you hold each other accountable. And I think it's just deep how we teach each other discipline and accountability. And I hope more of our coaches, more of the teams out there understand this. I'm tired of reading every summer these football leagues, these basketball leagues. The coaches are out there fighting. The kids is crazy. Like, we got to still be men and gentlemen and teach our young people how to handle each other, even in adversity, bad calls and things of that nature. But you all are true Kings doing it. Looking forward to the grand opening this weekend. I'll be popping up on y'all. I got to support the brothers. All the sisters, I'll be at everything. The brothers are, Jairi, where you at? I'm coming, brother. I'm going to be there. I got to uplift and support the brothers. Like Coach Ron said, to all of the folks out there right now with the economic challenges that are going on, please make sure y'all get y'all donation, all the philanthropists, all of the folks that always want to talk about how they want to help Black folks and help young people. Here's a phenomenal group.
There you go.
We need to keep these type of organizations going. Hey, support. We all need support right now. These brothers are doing a phenomenal job, and that's what it's all about. Before we let you all go, I want to give you all an opportunity to give any shots out. Any final parting words that you want to give to the parents, the young people in the community? I think it's important at every show we highlight the amazing folks behind the scenes. I know it's so many of you all that's in this Kings group that keeps this thing moving. So we'll just start with you, Coach West. Give any shots out to any family, friends, and old lady. You know, we put our old ladies through a lot through this, so don't forget her because she'll be calling me, you know, both sides of the conversation. I got up and made your look. Go ahead and talk to the people, brother.
Man, I just want to give a shout out to my entire family as a whole, especially my grandmother, because that was my pillar. That grandma, if you watching this, I love you. You know, that was my pillar, helped me raise to be the man that I am today through all my trials and tribulations. And to CB and Terrell, shout outs to those two kings because they are the pioneers of Kings Accountability Group. And it's crazy because CB reminds me every time. He's like, you know, you gave us the name Kings Accountability Group. I was like, nah, I didn't remember. He's like, yeah, we sat down, we had a talk because it was Fellas Accountability Group before. And then I was like, man, but we call each other royalty, you know, kings and queens around here. So why don't we do it Kings Accountability Group? So, you know, I'm glad that they created that space, and look at where it is now is just extremely monumental. The last thing I'm going to say for all parents, all coaches, things of that nature, for what John was talking about. It's two things. This is how we stop this, okay? All right. This is how we stop this. You got to get out your feelings, and you got to remember that there's principles. The principles over feelings, man. As a coach, as a parent, and so on and so forth. We all gonna feel something, but we got to take the principle aspect of it. Okay, that's his coach. He that's his job. He doing his thing. I'm gonna let him handle that, but I'm gonna hold my emotions back. That's all I'm gonna say is principle over feelings. Thank you for having me.
Oh, Coach West, shots fired, shots fired. The mothers is coming for you. They blowing up the spot.
You better duck, boy. You better duck when he pull out the.
You better duck. Hey, Coach West, thank you. And again, thank you for working with those young brothers team out there. Continue to be a graceful sword for them, and be that great role model, man. And just thank you for what you're doing, brother. All right, T-Top, my brother, 360. Come on, man, give us a 360, man.
I got a couple shots out, man. I got to start with one of the things you said that kind of touched me is how people don't show up to the games and stuff. So I got to give a shout out to all my homies and my goons from back in the day that showed up to all my games to keep me out the stuff, man. Have my back, man. Make sure I got home safe. Wow. Secondly, I got to give a shout out to the Omega Street Soldiers, man. Coach William Jenkins, RIP, Doc Marsh, Jack, Miss Norris, the whole fam bam. Without them, man, living proof 365, I don't know what direction I would be in. Lastly, man, with the Kings Accountability Group, it's a blessing, man. Accountability, a network group, a vulnerable and safe space, man. All men need to have a safe space where we can be vulnerable. Because a lot of times you talk to people and you even family, you can't be like 100% just exposing information and just talking about everything. I mean, we cry, we hug, we laugh, you know, we show love, man. So it's time to give back and create these new kings, man.
Now, T, I'm not gonna let you go until you get your wife a shout out because she ain't gonna.
Oh man,
she gonna go to the spot.
You're gonna see a hand in the background in a minute.
Man, wifey get 100% shout out, man. You know that's my soldier, man. That's my love, man. You know, it's all good.
Man, you know I'm giving you a hard time, but hey, thank you.
Oh, it's all good
for all you do, brother. I just want to say, man, again, you're a powerful brother, and we just thank you for your testament, your vulnerability as a man. I always say it on this platform: the more we can get men to be vulnerable about mental health, about the things that impact us, the faster we can change that mental trajectory. So thank you again for what you do with your health and fitness, and just encouraging brothers across this country, man, to get fit, get well, and do their thing. So appreciate you, King.
Appreciate you more, brother.
Man, off top. Last but not least, my guy. He got more energy than me. I don't know. He turned up more than the bishop. Hey, brother Ron G. Come on, brother Ron G.
Man, first of all, man, alhamdulillah, all praises due to Allah, man. And I'm super grateful for one to you, man, Bishop. You doing some amazing stuff, bro. Thank you for allowing us to be a service to you and to be a service to the community. I'm grateful for that, bro. Mark, you know, sis in the background, all of you guys, I'm grateful for the platform. But man, some personal just shouts out is to my team of people who've supported me and just given me opportunities to realize that there's a power greater than me that's restored me to sanity. So I'm super grateful for that team of people. You know who you are, who helped me realize that there's something greater than myself that's giving me an opportunity to be who I am today. Of course, my man T Irv, T Muhammad, some of the special people in my life. My son, I love you, bro. One time you going, man. D1 is calling your name, RJ. Let's do it. And man, you know, just my whole family that's been supportive to us. King's Accountability is something amazing, you guys. And I'm just saying that because not because I'm a member, but because God has given me an opportunity to see the vision way further than what we're seeing right now. So man, I'm just grateful for the fact that I got a blessed family around me. I got a good solid foundation today that's just giving me an opportunity to see things a lot clearer, man. And I'm super grateful for my sanity today, you guys. So let's do it. Let's continue to grow together. The more we can do, the more we can grow. My boy T Muhammad always says, together we do more, separate we can't do anything. So small steps, great distances. Let's do it, you guys.
Man, thank you. I agree with you, Coach Ron. You know, when we talk about coming together and we talk about solidarity, you know, Kings is that group that's making it happen in all 50 states. You guys are rocking. And I know the growth is just going to continue. And I think as we as Black men unite and understand that the struggles is real that we deal with, we continue to uplift and support each other. Only greatness could come from this. We got dark days ahead with the political arena that is going on. But again, as Kings, if we stand up and hold each other accountable and do the things that we need to do, we can push through. Greatness is among all of us. Thank you all for the amazing work you do, not only to hold the Kings accountable, but working with the young princes, the communities, the mothers, the fathers, and just being in there in position to do the things that is needed. It takes a lot of great men to make change in our community. We have so many oppositions and things pulling us from greatness. So to see you, brothers, standing on business, doing what you do, uplifting each other in the community, is always a tremendous thing. Again, King's Accountability Group community, all of the folks out there that's looking for something to give to these brothers. Go get your tax write-off. Do something to give back. You might not have the time, but just supporting them in any kind of way makes a difference. That's what it's all about. And we're happy to have them here again for another amazing segment of our Hidden Gems. We had the amazing DA tonight, and just all of you all here today that's doing things to impact young people. Again, the young people are the future. Elders, listen up, elders. We must pass the torch to our young people. And the King's Accountability Group is showing proof of how it's done, and we're going to follow their lead.
Hey, Bishop, I need a commitment from you before you go, man. So once we get this started, man, I need you to come out and do a workshop on how to create these type of platforms. I want the youth to see what you do and to see that they can do this. We actually have a media center in the youth club that I'd love for you to come out and do a workshop for us. Once we get everything up and running and the platform is moving, I need for you to come and show these kids that they can do the same thing, bro. Come on, give me the commitment. I'm waiting.
Hold on. You talk about accountability. I'm going to be accountable. When it's up and running, you just call the bishop. I'll show up. I'm pulling up. I will be there, man.
I got you locked in too.
Hey, we got to uplift this knowledge. We got to make all of it. Like I said, my reach is so far. Y'all reach is so far.
Yeah,
I'm not into holding the knowledge. I'm out here expanding now. We got to grow this bubble so it goes a far distance. And again, I'm going to keep loving on the people, uplifting the people, blessing the people, whatever I can do. I know the King's Accountability Group can do. T, you want to say something before we go? I see you point.
I just wanted to give Brother Mark a shout out, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the voice. The voice.
Them announcers, man. Serenading the crowd, man. He's serenading.
This platform haven't been the same since the voice has been here. He has a soothing voice. He has a radio voice. He is the voice. He is the voice. He is the ordained reverend too. So, you know, we got the real reverend. I always tell people I'm not an ordained reverend. Okay. They just gave me the name, the bishop from the community. I don't know. They just say you always preaching and teaching, Bishop. So Mark is the ordained pastor of this platform, but he is the voice. and he's always uplifting, dropping those gems to the community. We are all on code together here at both sides of the conversation. With that being said, fellas, thank you. We love you all, and we'll see you this Sunday. I'll be pulling up. All right,
appreciate you. Appreciate you in the background, sis. One love, y'all.
All right. Y'all have a blessed evening, Kings.
Yeah.
All right, Kings, y'all have a good one.
All right. All right, community, there you have it. The Kings Accountability Group, these powerful brothers. Yeah, they pulled up on us here today at both sides of the conversation. We did have the San Francisco District Attorney, Brooke Jenkins, again, a phenomenal DA. I know folks got their things, but I'm going to just tell you, I walk inside, I see, I pay attention. She's standing on business with a lot of stuff. And again, the impact that she's doing to help impact our community, young people, is something innovative. It's not happening across the country. You don't get access to the DA like that in other parts of this country. So she is definitely bringing some innovative, some change, and some things that is different for the community. So I'm excited to keep pushing along. Yeah, not only the Kings Accountability Group, all my philanthropists out there, support the bishop. Hey, both sides of the conversation need some support too. Hey, we all out here. Hey, but listen, we'll get there. See, the thing is consistency. We show up. We're a small but mighty crew. There's change. Things happen. But we're going to stand with the people. That's all we're going to do. Uplift the people. Hey, y'all keep saying that the voice of the bishop is not powerful. Hey, I heard Joe Biden today. He's talking about changing the Supreme Court. He's looking at maybe doing term seating. I don't know. I've been telling y'all. We got to hold these elected officials accountable. We got to get some term seating. These lifetime judges, they've been off the hook lately, okay? All of these lifetime positions for our political public offices, they got to change this. I don't care. You guys can fight against me. I see people, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Hey, listen, we need change. We need innovation. We need hope. But we're walking into dark waters, as they say. It's some dark waters ahead. We can no longer be reactive. We must be intentional and we must be preventive. I don't know. There's some violence prevention that needs to happen. There's some things in our community that needs to change ASAP. I don't know where you will be. I'll be with the people, uplifting the people. That's why I am the bishop. With that being said, Brother Mark, you got to wrap this up, brother. This was a powerful show tonight. Give the people your thoughts. What did you hear tonight?
Well, Bishop, I will say this. We are at a crossroads historically. And there is a lot of darkness, a lot of confusion. And there's a lot of negativity that we see that's obvious in the landscape. But this is why I appreciate what we do here on Hidden Gems, because tonight we had an opportunity to highlight some of the bright spots that are available and on the front lines working right now. It's one thing to have the representation. It's good to see people who look like us in these roles and positions, but it's another thing to know that they're qualified because of the results of the work that they do. And we're getting the best of both worlds and examples. Thanks again for the District Attorney, Brooke Jenkins, for stopping by, sharing her vision and demonstrating what it looks like to be in the system and working to move the needle and change the narrative from the inside out. And of course, I gotta salute the Kings Accountability Group. As a brother, it makes me feel good to see other brothers who I can respect, who I can celebrate, who I can point at as examples of good men, solid, 10 toes down, doing the work and investing into the next generation. So with all that, I'll just encourage the community. You can't control everything that's happening, but you can control what you can control in your life. Take care of yourself, your mental health, your physical health, and have healthy relationships with your family, friends, community, and coworkers, and continue to work to change the narrative, because we didn't get here overnight and we're not going to get out of this overnight. But if we stay committed to the process, we'll make it better.
Man, very powerful stuff, man. Look at this. The voice. He leaves a parting ways message. Powerful. Okay. He's been missing because of the hurricane. He's still standing strong. The prayers, the folks is getting us through, man. All I got to say is there's shots fired everywhere. Okay. They want to take the bishop down. I'm telling y'all. I don't know about y'all. Y'all just don't know. I'm just telling y'all. It's people behind the scenes. Yeah, they want to take the bishop out. Oh, we gonna watch him fall. But I always say, no weapon against me formed shall prosper. The God, the mighty God that I serve. You can't do nothing to hurt me. You might think You taking me down. You might think I'm going to quit. I'm gifted. See, I have a special anointing. I've been given some vision, some inspiration, some light that is shining bright. Don't just think the white teeth is all about a good look. See, it's something inside. Oh, yeah, they can't stop the bishop. I don't know. We got great things coming. See, the momentum happens even in the ups and downs. The bishop will walk with the people. We will change the narrative. I will work behind the scenes to make change. Whether you think we have a voice or not. There's some people who think we don't have that type of influence, but I know. Yeah, I know. I serve a God whose voice is loud and proud. I can speak at this tone, and God can anoint the tone across the universe. All I know is I've been speaking into existence some things that's taking place, and I know, yeah, it's happening. I'm gonna just tell y'all, be careful of the karma, the jungle, as they say. This both sides of the conversation. Karma is very powerful. Don't rub it the wrong way, community. All right. With that being said, I got to get to this benediction. It's been a while. Hey, community, we changed our program. For all the folks who maybe the first time tune in, we used to do a show every week. We are now going to 2 times a month. Okay, so 2 weeks out of the month, you won't see us. Don't think we quit on you. Don't think we're not a part of the community. Don't think we just left you. No, we got some other things that we're doing. We're working behind the scenes. See, these very people like D.A. Jenkins and some of our elected officials, see, we are going to be working behind the scenes, helping change policy, helping to give our 2 cents in to make change. We're going to be working with the young people. Yeah, we're going to be giving back to the people. We're going to be blessing the people. We're going to be out present. Yeah, some of y'all don't see me because I don't want to play a party and play. We got some real motion that is needed. We have an election that is going on in this city. We got an election going on across this country. We got some people that need to start working and organizing and getting ready. We got some dark days coming in front of us. It's going to take organizations like both sides of the conversation. It's going to take the King's Accountability Group. It's going to take all of the amazing organizations to come together to fight what's going on. We got some dark days ahead, community. That don't mean tuck your tail and bow out. It means stand up proud. It means hold your head up. It means lift up the black fist and say all power to the people, because the people has the power. All right. With that being said, it's time to give the benediction. I don't know if I can get through this benediction. It's been a while. I haven't been in the pulpit in a while here on both sides of the conversation. Okay. Again, I am not an ordained pastor. Okay. When y'all hear them call me the bishop, don't be calling me tomorrow. What church you? I don't pastor in no church. I am the community bishop. They gave me this name. I don't know. I just took it. When I was in the streets doing the wrong thing, they gave me a different name. Now I'm going to accept the great name that the community give me for all the positive things that I do. So in this pulpit here on both sides of the conversation, I will give the benediction to the people. With that being said, community, you've been blessed tonight. Another great segment of our Hidden Gem, where we always uplift and highlight the Black and brown businesses. Also, the community leaders, the folks that are doing positive things to impact community. Yeah, tonight, we had the amazing San Francisco DA, Brooke Jenkins, here to talk about all hope and access to young people. This phenomenal initiative is bridging the gap between our elected officials, police, law enforcement, to give our young people an opportunity to see what goes on both sides of the courtroom. They are putting together a phenomenal program. This gives young people an opportunity to see some of the other things besides the courtroom that's going on to change the trajectory of young new. They are also going across the country, doing a civil rights tour, teaching the young people the historic issues that impact community when it comes to policing and community. See, some of y'all don't understand the historic issue of why we have this hatred against police, because when you go back in time and you see what was done by the police when the dog was sick on our ancestors, when you see the dehumane things that took place against our people, when you see the bombs that were happening in Alabama, when our folks were being attacked for being Black, for standing up for what's right, those civil rights were violated. These young people get an opportunity to actually walk in the presence of history. Again, great program. Yes, it is election season. Our DA is running for election. You know, there will be the folks that saying, well, she's doing this initiative for kids, but we got a city. Hey, she told y'all there's change happening. The number of arrests is up. The number of fentanyl has been removed off our street. No, it's not done yet. but the work has continued. I'm going to just tell you, I'm in the jail system. The county jails are full. They locking folks up. They holding folks accountable. But you heard what she said. Also, we're trying to get people help, not just lock them up, give them help, give them opportunity. There's a new way of policing. There's a new way of convicting folks that has to change. She's on the initiative to make the change. She's changing that narrative. We have to find a way. We can't just lock everybody up, but we have to find a way to get folks help, but also hold people accountable. She talked about our elders. Y'all know last week I went off about these attacks that's happening on our elders. We can no longer stand here in silence and watch the very, very elders of our community be robbed and attacked by young people and people of our community that don't understand. We have to hold them accountable for that. You cannot punch an old lady in the face and take her purse. You cannot slam our elders on the ground. We will not accept that. I don't know about you, but I don't believe in that. You cannot harm our elders of the community. They are our elders. We will uplift and respect them. We must do something about it, and she is taking that serious. We must change that narrative in this city and across the country. You cannot be attacking our elders. And last but not least, the Honorable, the Kings Accountability Group was here tonight. They uplifted some amazing work that they're about to launch in the East Bay, out in Richmond. They're going to be covering all over the Bay Area, but they're going to start in Richmond. My guy, Ron G, T-Top, and Coach West, they are part of this King Accountability Group. This is a large group. These are some phenomenal men. Princes to kings. These young men are about to be blessed by some gems, some real brothers who came from the streets, some real brothers who made change, some real brothers who are changing the narrative. We must amplify the voices of the Black man of our community who makes a difference, who changed their behavior to become great men. We must honor and uplift them. Thank you to the Kings Accountability Group for holding all of the Black men of our community accountable and making sure that they hold each other accountable. There's an amazing program that is going to be kicking off. They're going to be launching their grand opening this Sunday. We'll be there. I'll pull up. I am the bishop. I will be where the people be. I got to see this. I got to be a part of this. The Kings Accountability Group. Again, tonight we have been blessed with two groups that are impacting young people. The San Francisco District Attorney's Office, the Kings Accountability Group. No matter what side you on, the kids are the throne. With that being said, thank you all for tuning in. Our next show will be the 21st. We're talking about minority mental health. I'm still looking for some people. I'm going to tell you right now, I got 2 people. I don't know if I can do this with 1 or 2 people. I need some more people from the community. Let's talk about this mental health. Let's talk about this suicide in our community. Let's talk about some of the things that we need to do as community to bring wholeness to our wellness so that we can have a better community and we can have some positive outcomes in our community. With that being said, we thank you all for tuning in. Check out our latest program. We'll be updating the community when we're live. I know some folks had tuned in late. It was like, we didn't know which week. We'll keep making sure that we give you all the updated information when we're going live. And we're going to continue to be here to support community. Again, both sides of the conversation. We are part of the community. We will be doing the work in the community. There's stuff we're doing here live. There's things we'll be doing in the community behind the scene as we continue to make impact. These are dark times, but we will stand with the people. We will uplift our lovely mayor, London Breed. We will uplift all of our elected officials, our leaders, our Black leaders that they continue to come for. This political violence in our community must stop. Community, we must do better. We cannot let our political agendas turn violent. It's not okay. It is not okay. We do not accept that, and we will continue to uplift the positivity that is happening. Make your voice heard. Go to the voting box this November 5th. Make sure your voice is heard through the voting process. As we continue to do the work, we'll be here to uplift and support you all, and we'll continue to do the work. I see the text messages. The ladies already coming. You been talking about that? Oh, stop it. All right. With that being said, thank you all for tuning in to tonight's Hidden Gem segment. This has been a great show. And again, yes, to all you mothers out there that don't talk to my baby. Yeah, that's why they text me. That's you. Let me talk about. With that being said, thank you all. Have a great evening. We'll see you all on our next live. We'll let you all know. Stay tuned. More to come. Have a blessed evening, everybody.